At 7'2", NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar not only towers over most people, he also sits atop the NBA's all-time leading scorers list with more than 38,000 career points, 38,387 to be exact. The former Los Angeles Lakers star is known for his trademark skyhook. That shot helped him win 6 championships over his 20-year career. Abdul-Jabbar is now an executive producer of the new History Channel documentary, Black Patriots, Heroes of the Revolution. It highlights significant African Americans who stood up to British rule and helped establish this country.
I first learned about the Rhode Island Regiment after I retired from professional basketball. And the thing that impressed me the most about them was the fighting spirit of people who are getting an opportunity to make themselves free. They have to do it by fighting. You'll see the most ferocious, determined people in the world that are proving themselves that way.
And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar joins us. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
What drew you to the Revolutionary War period specifically?
I think just living in the part of Manhattan that I was raised in, it was the last part that George Washington held on to before he had to skedaddle down to Valley Forge. And I realized that happened in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow. And it kind of has always drawn me in. There's an old Dutch farmhouse on Broadway at 203rd Street. That gentleman that owned that farmhouse had slaves. Didn't find that out till I was an adult.
One of the things you say in the documentary is that this is kind of a corrective to the history books you had to, and this is your phrase, deal with growing up. And I think it's so interesting because it suggests that, like, the history you're being taught is not necessarily the history, capital H.
No, it's
not complete, for sure.
I think the history that we're taught is, it's taught to us in a way that kind of minimizes or marginalizes the contributions of people who are not of European descent.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. They're only focusing on one segment of society and what they contributed. And
what effect does that have?
Well, you actually say in the doc that could not have won the Revolutionary War without the contribution of Black Americans.
Right.
And success in the war would come whoever armed blacks the fastest. Talk about the role, because I learned so much watching it.
Yes, the manpower shortages affected both the revolutionary side and the British side. So they both needed to have people for reinforcement and to support, just to do the menial things that enable an army to win. And that required manpower, and slaves who were idle on the side were considered to be a valuable source of manpower. And
did you learn a lot doing this?
Oh, I learned a lot more than what I was taught, because I wasn't taught anything.
Yeah. you make reference to a couple of key figures, poet Phyllis Wheatley and James Armistead Lafayette.
Yes, James Armistead Lafayette was vitally crucial. He got the information that enabled the revolution, that enabled George Washington to pin Cornwallis on a peninsula, and he was stranded. And that defeat really just tired the people in England. They said, we've had enough of this.
He was a spy for the Continental Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he enabled them to understand exactly what to do at the right time.
Why did you feel it was so important to tell these stories that you were not seeing in history books?
I think it's vitally important in America because black kids are raised without understanding that this is their country. They think this country was established for people other than them, and that they are seen as marginal and of no use. And
certainly marginalized and minimized. That's why I think this is so important. I like how you start the documentary. It says, a life is not important except for the impact it has on other lives. When I heard that line, it certainly made me think about Kobe Bryant, who I know was a very good friend of yours, and you knew the family very well. Where does Kobe sit with you? How important was he to you?
I think Kobe was very important, especially to his generation.
Yes.
I mean, he left high school and took a chance on being a professional athlete. Risky. He did it in style, and absolutely was a figurehead for the kids in his generation who are adults now. And just the fact that it's such a senseless loss, that didn't need to happen. And
yes.
I think that's the worst part of it. For me, I remember Gianna. I used to play peekaboo with her, and she's
You
not
played
here.
peekaboo with Gianna?
Yeah, yeah. She was 5 or 6 years old. You know, I was coaching. You know, I'd see her all the time.
Yeah.
That's how it affected me. You
And
know,
you played
it's
against
very
Kobe's
personal.
dad, right?
Yeah, Jelly and I used to go at it. You know,
Yeah.
in the very old days.
And now they're talking about records being broken. LeBron has just surpassed Kobe, and now you're still the #1 scorer.
Right.
Are you sitting there thinking, no, you can stop now, or are you thinking records are made to be broken?
They are made to be broken, and they
And you'd
give
be
us
okay
an
with that?
idea of where we've gone and where we're going.
Right.
And
Do you keep track of those numbers?
No, I don't.
You don't?
More power to LeBron whenever he breaks it, if he wants to, because he could be someplace counting his money.
Yeah.
He's got a lot to count, right?
Yeah.
So he could be doing that, but he's doing great things.
Yes.
And I just want him to keep doing it.
Yeah. Do you believe he will break it?
He's got a great shot. You never know. There's an injury out there or there's not. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
that's why we watch.
What do you think, Kareem? 3 million people have signed the petition to change the NBA logo to
Right.
the image of Kobe.
Right.
What do you
From another great Laker, Jerry West,
Jerry
by the way,
West,
whose
yes.
silhouette was there.
What do you think about that?
I don't get into that because we need to remember Kobe in a lot of ways that people aren't talking about. You know, the fact that he was interested in women's athletics
Yes. Yeah.
and promoted that. That I thought that was remarkable, and totally unexpected from somebody in his position.
Yeah, he was a big supporter of the WNBA, and they said if Kobe went, maybe he would make people see how great this game is and the talent that the women have. He was a high-profile NBA player sitting there on the sidelines cheering the women on because
Right.
it mattered to him.
And I think by encouraging women's athletics, we've really done a lot for the females in our country that have something to aspire to now. My granddaughter now is thinking about playing softball, and that's awesome. You know?
It is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right, Kareem. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And
You're
this
welcome.
is a series, I understand, that you and Deborah Morales,
Yeah.
your co-producer, want to do this.
I'm working with history, and
Yeah.
we're going to be doing some other things. I have other ideas, and they've been open to it. Very nice working with the people at history. They're great people.
It's off to a good start.
Yeah.
All right. Kareem,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Kareem.
much.